YouTube people, this is Jesse, Crab Collector 01, here today for another Transformers review. Today I'm going to be looking at Transformers Prime Wave 1 of the Legions class figures. We have Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, RC, Ratchet, and the Viacom. And I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way at the start of this review, is that I do not in the least like these little gummy weapons that they've included with these guys. They're just too soft and they're too rubbery, and when you put them in, you got to twist and kind of like bend them up, which I don't really like. I just kind of take them off and leave them to the side. I like the figures basically just without them. But a neat little thing to mention right quick before we move on to the transformations is Bumblebee only comes with one blaster. And if you are a person that would like these weapons, to get a second blaster, you wouldn't have to buy a second Bumblebee. You would just have to buy a Bumblebee and a RC, because she comes with the exact same blaster that Bumblebee does. So that's a neat little thing. So you can buy the newer figures and get kind of multiples of weapons without having to necessarily re-buy the same toy. So like if you wanted two blades for Ratchet, because Ratchet primarily uses the swords in his arms, you wouldn't have to buy two Ratchets. You just buy a Cliffjumper that has a blade weapon, and then buy a Ratchet that has a blade weapon. Which so far Viacom's the only Legions class figure that has his own kind of special. It's kind of like a bladed gun type deal, but this one isn't as soft as some of these other ones. Like this red, like the sword. And the sword's not that bad. The ones I have the most trouble with is the blasters. I just don't like the blasters. They're too kind of brittle and rubbery for my taste. But anyway, we'll move on to the figures themselves. We'll start out with Bumblebee. And he's got some pretty nice detailing on there. The silver engine block, painted windows, the black here on the front's painted, the black grille. And that is a slotted grill, like it goes all the way through to the inside there in the front, which is kind of nice. Has the silver painted headlights, the red Autobot logo. There's some paint on the bottom, which is more for robot mode. But transforming, what you want to do is just kind of pop these arms out to the side. And this is basically the same Legions class Bumblebee transformation that we've had for every Legions class Bumblebee so far. Fold down the feet, split the legs, and flip the torso down. And that's pretty much the same transformation we've had for every Legions class Bumblebee figure to date. And he does have some more paint apps. My voice is a little off tonight. He does have some more paint apps in this mode. The silver kind of like midsection and the silver feet and ankles. He does have a silver face with blue eyes, which I don't... There it goes. So you can kind of see the blue eyes in there, which the face sculpt and the overall figure is actually really good. I really like the little Bumblebee. We'll move on to Cliffjumper. He has painted bumper, kind of painted black windows. The silver there's painted. You can't really see it because of the camera, but it does have a little Autobot logo painted in right there. He does have the horns from the larger deluxe figure. Transforming, what you want to do is just come back here and split this back section. Rotate these down. Take the door panels, kind of fold them in and forward to make feet. Do the same on this side. Take the front of the car and split it, and then kind of grab the bull by the horn, so to speak, and flip him forward. Fold these up the rest of the way. Then bring the arms down and rotate them out. And Cliffjumper has a pretty unique transformation. I mean, to be such a little figure, he's not kind of like a rehashed transformation from other figures like this Bumblebee is. He's kind of got his own unique transformation and take on things, which is pretty neat. He does have the horn and blue eyes, which that's going to be really hard for my camera to focus in on and pick up. So I don't believe it's going to do it. But and these are really small actually. Like you can see, like here's my pinky, and then here is the Cyberverse Cliffjumper. Like here's the tip of my pinky right there behind Cliffjumper's head. I mean, they're pretty small figures actually, but they're pretty cool nonetheless. We'll move on to Ratchet, which he's kind of he uses ambulance. He's not really, he's more of an orange. This is more of a darker orange than what the camera's making it out. It's kind of, the camera makes it look pretty light, but it's not really that light. He does have his Siren's light bar there. You can see some robot kibble underneath. To transform him, what you want to do is come back here and split these legs. Fold them down. Flip the feet up. And then just grab the top and split it. And there you have Ratchet in his robot mode. And Ratchet does have some, actually a lot, and a really nice detailing in the chest, and the head sculpt's pretty neat, but he doesn't really have a mouth. But the head sculpt itself's pretty neat. The only thing I don't really like about this guy is how the arms are one solid chunk, and that kind of, I think you've got a really good torso and leg section, but that's kind of thrown off by these big chunky arms. But he's pretty neat nonetheless. We'll move on to RC. To transform her, what you want to do is take these little side fins, flip them out, grab these legs, fold them down, split them. And a neat little bit of transformation is the front wheel folds down into this leg, and then the back wheel folds back into the right leg. Just kind of leave them straight for a minute. Come back here and split the, it'd be kind of the gas tank and seat of the motorcycle. Fold them straight up, fold the legs down, flip the arms to the front. And then you just kind of take this whole the windshield of the motorcycle and the two fins and fold them back to her back. And there you have RC in her robot mode. And RC is actually really wonderfully detailed. The chest is nicely sculpted. The head is really really nice. She does have blue painted eyes, but size wise she probably is the smallest of the Legion's class figures. I mean, really small, really tiny head, but they did manage to get actually a lot of detail in such a tiny sculpt. It's really nice. This one's probably one of the highlights out of Wave 1. Then we'll move on to Viacom, who does look like the Batmobile, and he does have quite a bit of nice detailing as well. He has some of the pink highlights, the silver headlights, the big spoiler. Transform him, just kind of move these legs out of the way. And he has another really simple transformation. It's just basically folding the arms out, splitting the legs. Then you got to come over here and grab the torso and flip this bit back. Kind of push on this little nub here to flip his head forward. And then close him up. And then I like to just kind of straighten him up a bit. But he is actually really show accurate, and he's got a really, really nice head sculpt with the red visor and a nicely painted Decepticon logo on his chest. He has some really nice detail in there that makes him stand out. Him and RC is actually, him, RC, and Ratchet, detail-wise, are probably the very best out of Wave 1. With Cliffjumper and Bumblebee, they're good, but I don't think the detail is as good as what the other three have. But as a set, they're all really nice. I've enjoyed the Cyberverse line so far of Transformers Prime. I'm looking forward to getting some of the Commander class ones, the Optimus, Starscream, Bulkhead, and Megatron. But here's a quick look at Wave 1 of the Legions class of Transformers Prime toys. And thanks for watching, guys. This has been Crate Collector 01, signing off.
I got a guilty secret to tell before my head explodes. A burden I never wanted.